looks like it's filmed on a potato.
That's actually way funnier than what I was going to say.
My name is KJ, and you're listening to the Supernatural Opinions podcast, where some things in this world are supernatural. My pronouns are she, they, and this is the podcast where I talk to my fellow Supernatural fans about Supernatural, and we share our Supernatural opinions. Hey, it's Ed and KJ. Before we get into the episode, I just wanted to come in and say hey, and let you know that we had an issue with one of our guests, and how their audio was set up, and there was also an issue with how I set up the recording, so some of our settings were off. So this episode doesn't have the best audio quality, but we did what we could with what we were able to do and with what I was able to fix. So it's a great episode. I hope you enjoy. I'm just warning you, the audio quality is not as good as you're used to hearing, but enjoy. Have a great week.
Today we're recapping Season 2, Episode 14, Born Under a Bad Sign, which originally aired on February 8th, 2007, and here to help me do that are my guests of the week, Meredith, Vail, and Jaden. Meredith, remind everyone who you are.
Hi, my name is Meredith. My pronouns are she and her, and I caught COVID last week after recording.
That's unfortunate. Hopefully you'll be feeling better by the time this comes out.
Well, I'm not dying, so I don't think I sound like it either.
No, you actually sound like you're feeling a little bit better.
It took a long time to get to this point.
And Vail, you were also just here last week, but remind everyone who you are.
Yeah, so hi, I'm Vail. Pronouns are she, her, and I had 3 coffees and I'm currently drinking a Coke, so hopefully I have enough caffeine to do this properly.
That's good. If you get really wired when we record the second episode we're recording today, we'll know why. And Jaden, it's been like almost a full season since you were here last, so remind everyone who you were, or who you are.
Hi, I'm Jaden. My pronouns are she and her, and yeah, I am so excited to be back.
Yeah, we're excited to have you back. You were last year on, the Benders, which was Season 1, Episode 15, so it's literally been a whole season.
Wow, I didn't think it was that long.
This week's episode will contain spoilers for this episode, and may reference previous episodes, but will not contain spoilers for later episodes of Supernatural. This week's episode is titled Born Under a Bad Sign, and that's a reference to the 1967 blues song by Albert King, and it's a really fitting song for this episode, and for Sam and Dean, who have been underdogs their entire lives, and who have the odds really stacked against them as they're still fighting Sam's allegedly dark destiny.
No kidding.
This week's episode was written by Catherine Humphreys, with Rael Tucker and Sarah Gamble as executive story editors through the whole second season, and it was directed by J. Miller Tobin. This is Catherine Humphreys' 3rd episode of Supernatural. We last saw her writing on The Usual Suspects, Season 2, Episode 7, and this is the first of J. Miller Tobin's 4 episodes directing Supernatural. He's also directed 4 episodes of Kevin Probably Saves the World, 7 episodes of Revenge, 3 of Drop Dead Diva, 8 episodes each of The Vampire Diaries and the original Gossip Girl, and 1 episode of Pretty Little Liars. So, lots of directing.
Lots
for
of shows
that I know.
Seen. Yeah.
Lots of things I've watched. Also, before we get into the recap this week, I want to say there's a content warning for this particular episode. There's a lot of implied sexual assault stuff that we're probably going to talk about. So, if you don't want to hear about that, this is maybe an episode you don't want to watch the episode of Supernatural, and you maybe don't want to listen to this episode. But let's get right into it, I guess.
Yay!
The episode opens with Ellen and Dean on the phone, and Dean is super worried. He's going out of his mind because Sam has up and left with no explanation. Dean has no idea where Sam is, and that's never good. Anytime one of them wakes up and they don't know where they are, or the other one doesn't know where they are, it's just bad. Dean then gets a call from Sam, who we don't hear what Sam says, but Dean has the most perfect big brother reaction of, where are you? Calm down, tell me where you are. I'm like, I'm already on my way. I'm getting in the car. You just have to give me the information.
Aw, Dean, good job.
We see Sam, his hand put down the phone. That's the only thing we see, and we see that there's blood streaked across the back of his hand. So that's not a great sign.
He went on a bit of a bender.
Oh, Sam...
Like the Benders.
Sam is in Twin Lakes, and when Dean gets there, the door is unlocked, and Sam is, like, sitting on the bed, and he's kind of, like, despondently freaked out. Sam's very quiet in this episode.
Wait until we find out why.
Dean sees the blood on Sam and immediately assumes that Sam is hurt, but as he's physically touching Sam to, like, make sure that Sam is not wounded, Sam's like, I don't think this is my blood, and I don't remember whose blood it would be or what happened.
Yay.
And then it cuts to the title card, as it must. Dean goes to get them food while Sam gets cleaned up, gets a new shirt. The motel is fishing themed. There's, like, these little wooden fish and bobbers as some sort of, like, half wall, half art thing to, like, just divide up the space in the room. These motels are so fun. This one also has about 6 light sources, and it still looks kind of like they filmed it in the dark.
It's very funky.
Yeah.
They must have had, like, some sort of list where they just wrote, like, different motel theme ideas for different episodes.
I like to see them reuse the different pieces to make the different motel rooms, like a piece of this room and a piece of that room.
It's like picking out outfits.
I think that the people who make all the sets must have just had a fun time with all the motels.
Yes.
I want to know who was in charge of designing for those hotels.
I want to know if I can Google that.
It's probably not the same person for the whole series.
Probably not. Set designer is Supernatural.
I do feel like they use that wall decor a lot for some reason.
They do. They definitely reuse stuff.
Might as well, right? Have a good shirt, you're gonna wear it more than once.
Jerry Wanick was like a production designer for 15 seasons. All 15 seasons.
Oh my gosh, it was the same guy.
So I feel like he definitely like had a hand in a lot of the sets. Like he probably didn't do all of them, but I imagine he probably had something to do with most of them.
Jerry, what have you seen? What can you tell us?
He also designed like the bunker and like the mansion in French Mistake, like Jared's mansion. Good times.
He's a good designer then, that's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, that is things I would love to hear. I love like stuff about that. Anyway.
Absolutely. You never hear about that, so
sometimes they talk about it on the DVD extras, and like that's always my favorite thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
like acting's all fun and whatever, but like we want to see how it gets made.
I like the behind the scenes stuff a lot. Sam checked into the motel as Richard Sambora, but no one's reported anything weird. Richard Sambora is the lead guitarist in Bon Jovi. Dean says as long as Sam's okay, they can deal with whatever happened, but Sam is already in a spiral. Like, what if I hurt someone? What if I killed someone? What if this is the thing that Dad was so worried I would do? And Dean wants to hear none of that kind of talk. Thank you very much.
Also, I just want to ask Dean why he hates Bon Jovi so much, because I don't see anything wrong with him.
He doesn't even hate Bon Jovi either. Like, he actually likes Bon Jovi.
Why, though? Why, Dean? Why? They're good.
Yeah, he makes a comment, like, I think the scariest thing about this is that you're a Bon Jovi fan, even though Dean himself is a Bon Jovi fan. He's used the alias John Bon Jovi before. Like,
explain yourself, Dean.
Yeah, he doesn't hate it, so this comment is out of pocket.
But I can understand it, possibly, because I also have a love-hate relationship with Bon Jovi, only because his voice is really weird, and every time I hear it, I can see my dad in my mind singing it really badly.
Oh, dads will do that. I bet you that's Dean's thing. I bet you John, like, is just like a horrible singer.
That might be true.
And they're just stuck in the car with him all the time, like...
So much like 70s and 80s music that my parents have just not ruined, but definitely affected.
Because I'm a Supernatural fan, we're going to talk more about music next week when we have our playlist. But I had my Supernatural playlist on while I was visiting my parents a couple of weeks ago, and my dad's like, your taste in music's gotten a lot cooler.
Thank you very much.
I mean, to be fair, I only listened to Taylor Swift for like 4 years, and my parents just had to deal with it. I'm sure that they appreciate the variety and that my taste in variety has gone in the direction of stuff they already liked.
Yeah.
The last thing that Sam remembers was being in West Texas with Dean over a week ago. He left to go get them burgers and never came back, which I'm sure Dean was really annoyed about for the first couple hours. And he feels like he's been like asleep the whole time, or so he says.
Would you be willing to bet that, like, for the first, like, half hour, Dean was mainly thinking, where are the burgers?
Oh, absolutely. For the first, like, I want to say probably the first 2 hours, Dean was like, Sam should have been back with burgers right now. I'm going to be so mad when he gets back here with those burgers. They're going to be so cold. I bet you he found a girl to hook up with. Like, that's absolutely... And then, like, 3 hours went by, and Dean's like,
This is getting bad. Okay.
Where's Sam? And then he went to full on, like, parental panic.
I'll get burgers myself, and then I'll go look for him.
Dean notices there's some blood on the window, so they go out to see if Sam, like, crawled in or out of that window. And Sam has a feeling like he might have been at a storage unit nearby, and then he finds a key for one of the units in his jacket pocket. Inside the storage unit is, like, an old-timey Volkswagen Beetle. There's blood all over it, and a bloody knife in the backseat, which is very suspicious. But Dean's more disturbed by finding a pack of menthol cigarettes in, like, the passenger seat. Fun fact, you can't get menthol cigarettes in Canada anymore. They drive to a gas station that they find a receipt for in the car, and they go in, and the dude immediately is like, get out of here, you cannot come in here. He's like, he came in here yesterday, he was drunk, he stole booze, and then he threw a bottle at me, he lit up inside, which is illegal. Dean just, like, whips out his wallet, and he's just like, I'll just pay for all the shit that Sam stole. I'll just throw money at this problem.
You know, that's not a bad solution. I feel like it would work.
I mean, it does. The guy tells them which direction Sam went in, so suddenly it's nighttime. It was daytime when they went into the gas station, and then they come out of the gas station and they're driving and it's nighttime.
It was night, but now it's day.
The boys are then in the car, and Sam gets a feeling that they should turn, and Dean does, and they find a house, and they discover the home of a dead hunter. The alarm is disabled, and the place is, like, trashed, and a man is dead.
Well, that sucks. That really sucks.
Yeah. The boys then watch the very grainy security footage of Sam straight up murdering this dude. It's appropriately grainy, like, for 2007. It's 2022, and security footage still looks like this. Like, it looks like it's filmed on a potato.
That's actually way funnier than what I was going to say. But anyway, I think the goal with security footage is to just look really good if you catch a cryptid.
I mean,
Yes,
but like, no. As someone who watches a lot of true crime documentaries, nothing makes me crazy than the fact that all these places have security tapes that they tape over. Oh, like, we got the person on camera, but the quality's too bad to tell what they look like. Then why are we filming? If we can't tell who's coming and going, why are we filming?
We know that something bad happened. Well, thank you, Steve.
Dean immediately goes into problem-solving panic mode, and Sam is, like, back to despondent sitting. But Dean's also bad with technology, so he's, like, trying to help Sam help him erase the security footage because this guy's a hunter and other hunters will come looking for him, which I don't think is true about them or Bobby. Like the Winchesters or Bobby, like, if Sam or Dean dies, then the other one will go looking for him. But, like, if, like, both Sam and Dean die, maybe Bobby would go looking for the thing. Maybe.
It would probably become like a Bobby and Rufus mission. We needed more of that throughout this show.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's true. But, like, I don't know, like, they're just, like, very confident that, like, Steve is gonna have friends. And I'm like, you guys barely know any other hunters. Like,
Yeah, but they're special.
like, you
and they don't know Steve.
yeah, they don't know
like,
Steve.
Yeah, come on. Steve is very important here.
Yeah.
Is Steve the dead guy?
Yeah.
Thank you. I needed that.
The next line of my assistant guy is Steve Waddell. And Sam finds a letter from Steve's daughter, so that's unfortunate. Steve has a daughter.
Oh, zoinks. Okay.
Hopefully she's, like, an adult, because she's not here. Or she lives with her parent who isn't a hunter, I hope.
Yes. She lives with her mother or father or non-binary parent.
Yeah, some other parent that isn't Steve, because, like, the house is trashed and Steve's been dead for at least 2 days, and his body's still here.
She'll be fine.
Dean then, like, realizes that Sam's not going to be helpful. Like, Sam's just, like, too much, like, in shock. So he just smashes the entire computer. And I haven't seen a computer modem like that in a hot minute, even though my parents had one until literally, like, 4 years ago. It's amazing how quickly you forget, like, how technology used to be.
I feel like there's just been a few times in the series so far where Sam has been shocked about something and we see Dean, like, going into problem-solving mode. Like, okay, we can freak out about this once we've covered our tracks. That's the priority here.
Yeah, sometimes Sam, I think, just, like, shuts down a little.
Yeah. Like, I think the only other time that I can remember right now is in the episode with Max. I think they had just seen...
Yeah,
they had just seen that guy get his head chopped off by a window, and immediately Dean was like, gotta wipe our fingerprints off the railing.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, exactly. It's like, and, like, it's always things where, like, with Sam, like, feeling like he should have done something else. Like, Sam sometimes, like, in the moment gets caught up in, I did not prevent something, or I did something wrong, and just, like, turns off. Whereas Dean Dean fixes the problem and then turns off.
Yeah.
I
After.
don't think Sam has ever had to deal with that because Dean has always been like that big brother to hide everything, you know?
Yeah,
So
Dean,
it's-
like, he's always, like, jumped right into problem solving to, like, clean up after Sam.
Dean is usually the one getting them into shit because he's the older one and he's the less responsible one. So
That's
I
true.
feel like not only does he take on the